should be the 49ers starting running back? And I'm not saying it should be Jeff Wilson Jr., but he just had a great game. He's been terrific this season when healthy. Raheem Mostert, is still good too. Who do you think should be the starting running back?
I think it comes down to health. I mean, is Mostert healthy? Yes or no? I mean, we're hearing that may be a reason why he didn't get so many carries last week.
Lingering high ankle thing. I mean, it's kind of thing where you're healthy, but you're never going to be 100% healthy until probably next year.
Yeah, so if he was healthy, I think Mostert is the no-brainer. And then next has got to be Wilson. I mean, the only way that you can justify Wilson not starting over someone like Coleman or McKinnon is if you're going off of, where you got him at in the draft, et cetera. And because he wasn't a high-profile player coming out of college, you're going to still give him doubts. Jeff Wilson has taken every challenge that's been given to him. He has scored you a touchdown practically with time running out to win that game against the Cardinals. So he's shown you that he can play in crunch time. He's shown you that he can be a little bit of a power runner. He can be a little bit of a speed guy. I like Jeff Wilson a lot. I think he's incredibly underrated. I would love to see that guy get, 15 or 20 carries a game in one of these last games this year.
Jeff Wilson Jr., to me, has been a guy that, at least for the last couple of years in the NFL, has been the best fifth string and fourth string running back in the NFL. I think he was definitely capable of being a top 2 guy. And then this year, he's finally getting that opportunity, hopefully for the last couple of games. And he reminds me of Matt Breida in the sense where the whole time you're like, why can't they just give him a chance as the starting running back? They always find a new guy to take over. And then by the end of the year, Matt Breida would end up being the starter for the Niners. And that's how I feel with Wilson. But I am a big Mostert guy. I think as of right now, with the limited quarterback situation, the limited offensive line, I think Mostert carries the most upside just because I think he has the best burst of all the running backs. And with the offensive line not being able to hold their blocks that long, it helps to have a guy that gets past the defensive lineman before they break past the offensive line, in my opinion. Of course, he doesn't have the most power, so if those defensive linemen break off the offensive line and get him, he might not break that tackle, and it could be a -1 yard rush when Wilson could have made it a 2-yard rush. But I think he has the most upside to make it a 15-yard carry or a 10 on that halfback toss. I think it was in the third quarter or the fourth quarter when he hit the line and then cut back in. That was, I think, the most impressive run of the day this past Monday. And I'd like to see Mostert get a couple more carries if he is healthy.
Yeah, Mostert did look good in that game, but he's mentioned that he's got this lingering high ankle thing. He's not as explosive as he was. It's nagging and it hurts. And, that's a reason to scale him back and use him off the bench like last year. Also, Shanahan last year would say that the reason he started Tevin Coleman was to wear down the defense. He was the more physical runner, and he would sort of soften up the defense for Mostert. Well, Coleman's a much more physical runner than, Wilson's a much more physical runner than Coleman ever was. So you could use Wilson in the role that Coleman was supposed to fill and never really did very well. Seems like that would be a smart way to use them the rest of the season. And then next year when Mostert's back to 100% health, start him and bring Wilson off the bench. But I like the idea of giving Wilson 15 carries. I mean, he really does run hard, and he theoretically should be even better in the second half than the first.
Yeah, the guy can catch the ball. He can even do goal line carries a little bit. He can be serviceable at the goal line. I honestly don't know how he is as a pass blocker. I haven't seen enough of that on tape, but he seems to be an all-around good, solid player that could handle those kind of carries.
He's also the kind of guy in a shotgun set with 2 backs. He can be the lead blocker, and they use him that way frequently. Like he's almost like a fullback. I mean, he wouldn't line up in the I formation and lead on a linebacker, but he does do that kind of stuff. So he's very versatile, and yeah, he's got a future with the team. I like him, and why not have him start down the stretch? If you acknowledge that Raheem Mostert is not 100% healthy, and save him, take him off the bench. That was his role last year. Seems to be like a good timeshare anyway. So let's stick with. Oh, keep going.
Sorry, as creative as Shanahan is, have we ever seen Mostert and Wilson on the field at the same time? Both of those guys?
So.
I don't think we ever have, ever.
No, we've seen Deebo Samuel and Raheem Mostert in the backfield together. They did that last game. They put Mostert in motion and then handed off to Samuel, and he gained like 3 yards. It was a cool little concept, but the Bills are ready for it. I would like to see those two on the field together. It's something that Sean Payton would do with Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara. And what the Niners could do is put Mostert in the slot, Wilson at running back, and have Mostert run the jet sweep. He's your fastest player. I mean, that's as great as Deebo Samuel is. Raheem Mostert would probably draw some attention running the jet sweep too. That's a cool way to get him the ball.
Wow.
I don't think they've ever given Raheem Mostert the ball in a jet sweep. I'd like to see that. It's your fastest player.